Hello everyone, this is Kathy with Iridology Fusion. I'm bringing you today our teaching pod number 6. It's over suggesting supplements. And this can be a real problem for iridologists that carry products in their office or if they are attached to a health food store or a wellness facility. And trust me when I tell you this, I know what I'm talking about. I had a health food store. I owned a health food store for over 20 years in Tomball, Texas. And I don't have the store anymore. I closed it at the end of 2018. But I still have products that I do like to suggest for my clients. So one of the things that happens when you have a health food store is you have a large investment of supplements and products on the shelf. And your mission is to move that product. It is to talk about the product, talk about the benefit of that product, and how it may help a client or a customer with a certain condition or a problem. That's your mission, that's your goal, is to move product off the shelf. That's how you turn a profit. But we walk a fine line as iridologists in what we say and how we deliver that and our message. So over-suggesting supplements can be a tricky little path to follow. So hopefully with this little teaching pod, I can kind of dispel some of the scare out of suggesting. So let's get going. When we make suggestions, it's very important that we let our client know that this is a suggestion. It's not a prescription. It's not mandatory. We don't demand it as part of you seeing us as a client for iridology. We would like to suggest maybe a food or a supplement or maybe even another natural health therapy such as massage or foot reflexology or colonics or even energy work to help you feel better. This suggestion is not prescribing. If you don't make suggestions with what you see in the iris, how again are you going to be able to help your client? So our suggestions are just that. When you give a client a list with maybe some ideas for improving their diet, or you make a suggestion that they should follow a particular eating plan, such as eat right for your blood type and follow the type A diet plan, this is a suggestion. You're just giving them another example or an idea of something they might want to follow. If you hand them a little pamphlet or a book and you suggest that they read that, there again, it's their choice whether to do that or not. You've just made the suggestion. The definition of prescribing is to advise and authorize the use of a medicine or treatment, especially in writing, stating authoritatively that an action or procedure be carried out. So you want to state your intentions as an iridologist. So if your client is in front of you, you may say something like, well, Mrs. Smith, I'd like to make some dietary suggestions if you would allow me. If you could decrease your consumption of caffeine products, this may help your adrenal glands. You also want to give suggestion on how they could avoid or decrease that consumption of caffeine products. Maybe lemon water would be a good replacement, or mineral water with some lime. Lessen the coffee and increase the water. Maybe water before coffee and water after coffee. That is a good suggestion. You may say, Mr. Jones, we've discussed your need for sleep. When we sleep, our body goes into a repair phase. I'd like to suggest for helping you to sleep some valerian or hops. You may want to try lavender to diffuse in the room while you're trying to sleep. You may want to apply the lavender oil to the bottoms of your feet. There again, you've given them a suggestion. You haven't taken the lavender oil and placed it in their hand and say, you need this. That could be misconstrued as prescribing if you do that. In my personal practice, I do try to discourage a client taking too many products at one time. You'll never know what's working if they leave the store or your office with 10 bottles of product. You will not know, trust me on that. Making suggestions for gut repair or addressing the digestion is a very good first place to start. Once they feel better with their digestion, they will want to try other things and feel better. Enzymes and probiotics are two very simple places to start because the client can see a lot of change really quick. Restructuring their diet, that's another safe place to start. By taking out things from the diet, you want to replace them with something natural. So if you're removing gluten products, suggest gluten-free products. If you're removing dairy from the diet, replace that with almond milk, rice milk, cashew milk. There's a lot of nut milks available for replacement. Detox baths, dry skin brushing, those are very simple, inexpensive ways to start a detoxing effect with little money and maybe products they have in their own home already. It's always safe to suggest eating whole, fresh foods. When we make too many suggestions, this can be very overwhelming to the client. We talked about overwhelming the client back in pod 1 when we talk about too many things we see in the eye. The same problem happens when we make too many suggestions at once. So to the client, they may think they are broken or they do need a lot of repair. That weighs heavy on our client. When we also do that, it makes us appear greedy. It makes us look like our main focus is to push pills. We don't ever want to be looked at in that manner. Then the client may lose trust in us and themselves if they see no results. We don't want that either. We want our clients to benefit from our suggestions, whether they be small and minute, or even if they are extravagant, like reducing a lot of things from their dietary intake and replacing them. That can be catastrophic to some families, but we want them to see results. I really appreciate you watching teaching pod number 6 about oversuggesting supplements. Next time, we're going to be talking about in pod number 7, not strengthening body systems. I thank you. Have a great day today.